ENTV USA, where you're going to get access to all of our exclusive content, not just for Cachita Latina Radio, including our programming from 6 a.m. to midnight, but you're also going to get all access to our programming on ENTV USA, including
Absolutely.
concert series, pay-per-view, and a ton of other things. And we are here each and every night courtesy of
Café Cachita.
El mejor para compartir, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank you so very much for tuning in with us tonight.
I got a secret.
You had a secret.
You see this? Let me see if I can. You see this? Well, it says Izzy. There's no advertisement. It's just about golf, of course. Do you know what's in here?
Café Cachita.
Café Cachita Frappuccino.
Pero mira, yo te hago competencia.
Pero es un vaso de agua.
Eso no es agua.
Is it water?
It's not water.
How do you know?
Because it's not water.
Listen, you can't drink and drive. Oh, no, she's pregnant. I'm sorry. No, she's not.
¿Eh?
Gonna.
Cafecito con cositas ricas, claro.
I made Café Cachita Frappuccino. Frappuccino.
Qué rico.
Oh, it is delicious. And I have it right here. And if you don't believe me, I will show you in the camera. Anyways, how was your weekend?
My weekend was intense. I think we all had intense weekends.
Yeah.
You know, we're here. Unfortunately, Izzy lost someone very close and dear to his heart, and our condolences. We give the condolences to everyone, but today our very special condolences go out to you and your family for the loss of your mom. But in hindsight, your mom was 91 years old.
91.
She had a beautiful life.
Yes, she did.
She was, she was married with your dad for like 1,000,000 years.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she had you, and then
just the mere fact that she had me, you know.
And then Evie's, which I know had to be a daughter for her,
Yeah,
and then the grandkids and everything. So, what a beautiful legacy to leave behind, and the fact that she lived to be almost 100 years old.
Jesus Christ,
that's a hell of an accomplishment,
one of the things is like about 6 weeks ago, I get a call and they said, she had a brain hemorrhaging or something like that. So I had to run to the hospital. She was staying at a nursing home, very good nursing home, by the way. And they said, no, we're going to take her to the hospital. She's not acting right, whatever. Do you know that 91, not only did she have brain hemorrhaging, right? She also had COVID. And no symptoms at all. She got rid of the COVID. She came right back, started talking, and it was just too much for her, but she beat COVID and she beat all that stuff, and she came back. I was like, wow, look at this.
Hey, man,
I fall and break, I hit my knee and I'm out for a month and I got to ice it and all that stuff. But all kidding aside, I'm going to miss her. But 91, lived a great life, like you said. And number two, I'm the type of person that I don't want to see my mom in a bed, incapacitated.
Absolutely.
Just sitting there to say, yeah, my mom is still alive, and yeah, I see her, but she doesn't open her eyes and stuff like that. So she'll be fine. Definitely going to heaven.
Oh, for sure.
She was a very very nice person. Yeah. My dad was I act a lot like my dad.
Yeah.
But now they're together, and let's go on with the show.
Let's go on with the show. We have a ton of stuff going on. Okay, tell me about this whole curfew thing, South Beach, all this crazy. Let me explain. All right.
Please explain, because I don't understand.
Okay, so there's total chaos. And we've been talking about this for weeks.
Yes.
That Miami Beach has completely lost control.
Absolutely.
Of the situation down in South Beach. So the mayor proposed a 3-day curfew, for this weekend. Now they have decided to extend this to the end of spring break, which is April 12th. And if you recall, a couple weeks back when the mayor mentioned about raising COVID restrictions, I said that's not going to happen because spring break isn't over.
Yeah, you did.
Until the 12th.
Yeah.
So it's total mayhem what they have going on out there.
Whose fault is it?
The city for allowing that.
Absolutely.
No. From day one.
Let's not sugarcoat it. It's the mayor's fault.
Yeah.
Who the hell else you're gonna because the mayor calls the shots. Mayor again. All right. If you put a team of officers together in a situation like that, listen, you had a riot. You had a riot every night. There was a riot.
many. My sister, you know, we've known this now. My sister works for dispatch. She hasn't been here. That we invited her on the show because it's so crazy that she can't get off and she works nights. And she told me the other day there's a lieutenant that generally when she calls in anything, she's very like agitated.
Right.
Normally, you know. But she got a call from this lieutenant, you know, screaming for backup.
Yep.
Because there was a stampede. There were shots fired and there was a stampede on Ocean and I think 10th. And then 10 seconds later, my sister gets another call from another police officer saying, shots fired on Collins and like 14th. And she's like, where the hell do you send the backup? Where the hell do you send the backup? You have multiple things going on at the exact same time. My sister actually, you know, she can be pretty smart sometimes. Don't tell her I said that. But I asked her, what do you think?
Your sister is smart.
My sister's brilliant. But don't tell her I said that because she's my little sister. Okay? So I was asking her, I go, you're there. You're seeing, you know, the craziness that unfolds every day. And you're there for 12 to 16 hours a day. You know, what do you think? She goes, this was mismanaged planning. That's all it was. Because this is not the first time that they have rowdy crowds. They knew that everyone's going to have cabin fever. They knew that this was going to get out of control way back when. Because they had stampedes last year, you know, right prior to COVID. So my sister actually had a decent idea. She goes, if they would have, you know, if the mayors would have got together and would have said, because we need to protect our businesses, because we need to protect our residents, because we need to protect our property,
right?
Because we need to prevent shootings and all this other shit going on,
right?
You know, we have to push that hotels, for example. One thing that they could have done, hotels remain at 50% capacity, and if you are over your 50% capacity, you are going to get fined.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you do that countywide, you know, not everyone stays on South Beach.
No, I saw quite a few of the students all over the place. By the airport, they're all over the place.
So if you would have done like a countywide thing, you know, to limit, because if you start looking at the videos, there are residents' cars that are being, you know, they're jumping on the cars, they're breaking windshields, they're denting vehicles. It's horrendous.
I have friends of mine that live on the beach.
It's horrendous. I have a friend of mine who's moving because of this.
And they are livid. And these are people that are, you know, well-to-do. They got money. They live north of the Fontainebleau Hilton, and they are livid. They said, we can't even, you know, we're scared to drive anywhere because we don't know if that stampede is gonna think about going north, and then what? What if they light a building on fire?
Yeah, another hot spot is that that strip right there, like on 70 something. That's North Beach, and Collins. That part there, there's a ton of like little businesses there.
Like Surfside area there?
Like Surfside. Yeah. Over there, they've had a lot of stuff going on there too.
Well, it's really simple. Really simple. If you want, I can do the acting mayor for a day and just let me plan it out. Because the thing is, you can't send just regular officers out there. I saw they had a SWAT truck with SWAT guys, okay? Very impressive. Do you think a crowd of thousands of people are going to give a damn?
Get the kids walking by talking about look at them, they look like Power Rangers.
Exactly.
Literally.
Exactly. Laughing at them and stuff like that. No, listen. Let's make it really, really fun. Let's make it fun. Make it a rumble. And what we do is, you get a field force going, but they don't want to get a field force because a field force doesn't look good. Because now you're militarizing the whole situation. Well, guess what? You got to do it.
That's it, man.
Get a field force from where I came from, Miami-Dade County, city of Miami, and then all the municipalities, okay? Send a couple of people for field force. And if push comes to shove, you just knock on BSO's door, and I guarantee you they're going to say, yes, we got you, and they're going to do it too. But you know why they're not going to do it? Because they're politicians. Again, here's this guy again talking about politicians. I'm not going to stop because that's where everything goes to shit with politicians. Okay? If they would have had their pants on, they would have said, wait a minute. Day one, we had a little riot. Day two, we had a bigger riot. Now we got a problem. By the third day, they should have been taken care of. They should have gotten not a SWAT team. What they should have done was grab a field force, put a big field force together, and go play. Go play. And then when you're going to get gassed. That's for sure. No pepper spray, gas. Gas the hell out of the whole thing. And every time they arrive, first of all, what I would do is I put a field force a visible field force, just to let them know we're there. But little do they know there's a bigger field force hiding somewhere.
Absolutely.
Where all they got to do is go to, and then everybody arrives, and then the party's over. Then they're going to start that. Let me see, police brutality, racism. What else? They can name whatever the hell they want, but they're going to end up in the hospital. Black, white, green, or yellow. It doesn't matter.
Man, because it
doesn't matter.
Just straying fucking
no, it doesn't
property,
matter.
man.
Listen, I always, how do I say? I'm a little blunt. I just tell you straight out, right? Do you know what the word in the street is? You want to know what the word in the street is? Huh? That the blacks came down to South Beach to do this riot. There's white people out there too. Okay? This does not look good for the black community. It does not. Because you have a lot of blacks and you have a lot of whites. All they're looking at is the blacks. That's a piece of information. If you don't have it, go do your own survey. Go out there and tell them, hey, what do you think about what's going down in South Beach? All those black people are out of control. What do you mean those black people? There's white people. Oh, no. The majority are black people. Es verdad. Tú le preguntas a cualquiera en la calle, pregúntale, ¿qué te parece lo que está pasando en la playa? Y lo primero que te dicen es los negros, eso están fuera de control. Yeah. Es lo primero que te dicen. Aunque hay blancos y negros y chinos y hay de todo, ¿no? Pero lo primero que todo el mundo está viendo es, no, porque la mayoría son negros. Y entonces, ¿qué es lo que pasa? La comunidad negra es la que va a pagar por esto. Créeme lo que te estoy diciendo. Porque ese, ¿cómo se llama? El ojo negro, como decimos, que no tiene que ver nada con la raza. Pero bueno, el ojo negro se lo van a dar a ellos. ¿Tú me entiendes? Pero bueno, que sigan haciendo lo que le den la gana ahí, porque el alcalde, dirigiendo al jefe de la policía, no están haciendo nada. El jefe de la policía no tiene culpa aquí, yo te lo garantizo a ti. Ellos ponen un field force, como hacen cuando hay disturbios.
Ya, bro,
¿Okay?
ya.
Van a Miami-Dade y ciento y pico oficiales.
Uno de los restaurantes donde se formó un stampede de esto.
Sí.
No solo, obvio, todo el mundo se levantó sin pagar las cuentas, que perdieron todos esos trabajadores ahí, todos esos meseros trabajando, esos bussers, perdieron todo su dinero porque nadie les pagó. Pero en daños al negocio, porque se pusieron a tirar sillas, a tirar mesas, a romper los platos, a romper todo.
Yo lo vi que le dieron en la cabeza a uno con una botella o algo de eso.
$40,000 de daño.
$40,000.
Después de haber sufrido la pandemia, estar cerrado tantos meses, de haber perdido tanto freaking dinero.
¿Y por qué no me dejan hacer alcalde?
Para ahora también tener que aguantar esto. No, man, es un desastre, man.
Si ellos me dejan hacer alcalde por un día nada más. Por un día. Traigan bastante curitas, cajas de curitas de esas y mucho gauze. ¿Entiendes? Que traigan, you bring a lot of gauze because you're going to need it. And that's it. Tú llevas un field force y ellos paran eso.
It's horrible, man. It's absolutely horrible. Y te digo,
desde que llego empiezo a tirar gas. Le digo, ni me pregunten. Desde que lleguemos y
va.
ves a todo el mundo corriendo, métete ahí y empiezas a tirar gas. Y más nada. Y gas. Si de todas maneras tienes el mar ahí, eso se va a ir para el mar. Todo el gas ese se lo van a llevar para allá, pero no te creas.
Yo vi un video esta mañana.
Se lo van a sentir.
Yo vi un video esta mañana de, ¿sabes que también en South Beach hay muchos edificios viejos, apartamentos que han convertido en hotelitos, ¿no? Y en motelitos. Entonces, son propiedades que antes eran apartamentos que se unen, tú sabes, como en el courtyard, y tienes apartamentos abajo, arriba, y son, tú sabes, puedes ver tus vecinos en front. Si tú ves cómo estaba eso, Isidoro, vaya, it's horrible, man. It's absolutely horrible. And then it's funny because I've talked to a lot of folks from Miami, and people from Miami, they're like, dude, number one, people from Miami, we don't go to South Beach.
Right.
Because South Beach does nothing for us.
It takes me an hour and a half just to park and get to wherever the hell I'm going.
So that's, number one, it's not us. It's not us. And then on top of that, you have, if you start looking at the footage, you have people that are way older than college age. It's like everyone waits to take their vacation the time that these young kids are on spring break, las muchachitas and all this other stuff, para venir y formar lo que forman.
Right.
And then, you know, my sister also told me something that was very interesting. She goes, the alcohol sales. Yeah, you're going to limit alcohol sales at 8 o'clock.
Right.
But you can go, let's say, to Total Wine and buy all the damn alcohol you want.
And keep it in the room.
Till like 7:30. You know, and then on top of that, how do you control, you know...
They're walking around with bottles.
How do you control who pops a pill?
Exactly, that's what I told you.
My sister told me the exact same thing yesterday. And I mean, they're like...
Nobody.
How do you control that?
No.
You can't.
No, y marihuana no. No, la marihuana, olvídate de eso.
Ojalá que nada más fuera marihuana.
No. Ahí hay más pesta marihuana que ¿cómo se llama esto? Que...
Pero ojalá que fuera nada más marihuana. Because honestly, if you're high on weed, you're not going to be as aggressive as you are if you're on pills, if you're on coke, if you're on everything else.
Pero si tú coges una nota con marihuana y estás en el Chili Willy, donde estás tranquilito y estás en tu vacilón, y te cogen y te caen a patada, no vas a saber cómo levantarte del piso para poder fajarte. O sea, ahí tienes otro problema. So, no, que siga la marihuana, que siga el alcohol, las pastillas, toda esa descarga. Y el alcalde de la playa, ese tipo lo tiene que coger y lo que lo tiene es que sacar de ahí. Porque ese tipo no tiene los pantalones bien puestos. No, eso no los tiene bien puestos. Si hubiera sido Miami-Dade hace años atrás, antes de Carlos, ¿cómo se llama el tipo este? Carlos Jiménez. Antes de Carlos Jiménez. Ay, papá.
So check this out. It says here in the past 6 weeks, and this is coming from the Miami Beach Police Department's social media, there have been 1,050 citywide arrests. 398 of those arrests were felonies. 52% of arrestees reside outside of Florida. 102 firearms have been seized. And 11,279 traffic citations have been issued. I still think they just need to shut this shit down.
Y yo te garantizo a ti que de los 390 y pico de arrestos de felonía, yo quiero ver cuánto va el fiscal. Yo quiero ver cuántos de esos. El fiscal.
How much are they going to actually follow up on?
No, listen, the state attorney's office, you can tell me 398 cases of felony, and I want to see the state attorney's office. How many of those cases they're going to plead out or they're just going to drop? So, tú los arrestas por un lado, lo entras por aquí y el fiscal lo suelta por el otro lado. Y esos muchachos que son de colegio, que vienen de universidades y eso, facilito. Muchos de ellos tienen beca. Y lo que ellos no entienden es que cuando ya te cogen preso por felonía, pierdes la beca. ¿Entiendes? Ellos no entienden eso. Tú mandas el reporte al colegio, al departamento de finanzas, y le dicen, mira, tenemos aquí a Juanito, y Juanito tiene una beca de pelota, de fútbol, de basquetbol, de no sé, de lo que sea. Y tú le mandas el reporte, enseguida le hacen rácate y le cortan la beca.
Check this out. So last night, a traffic stop along Washington Avenue led to the arrest of 2 subjects. A firearm, crystal meth, and other narcotics were seized. Both subjects face several felony charges, and when we come back, I'm going to talk about the 2 guys that drugged and raped and killed a young girl.
Where is this?
A college girl, right here on South Beach.
On South Beach?
2 chamacos que la empastillaron,
Wow.
they raped her, they beat her, and they killed her.
Well, guess what? Let's take a quick break, and when we get back, Kachi's going to talk to us about that big case on the beach. Take it away, Kachi.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez.
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio.
Be back.
111, 110.
Mi mujer no se levanta de la cama sin 2 cafés, hechos por mí, por supuesto. Le pregunté, ¿cuál es de la casa el mejor café? Y me dijo, sinceramente, Cachita. Pruébenlo. Y después me dice, salud, con Cachita.
No hay ropa bonita aquí. Señor, me hace el favor,
Dígame. Tony Conté.
¡Alejo!
Tú en una tienda de ropa de mujeres.
Bueno, porque estoy comprándole a una dama para hacerle un regalo.
Ay, qué casualidad. Yo también estoy tratando de comprarle a una dama para ver si me dice que sí, porque cuando hay ropa buena no hay que se resista a decirte que no.
Bueno, pues tú sabes que yo nunca me imaginé que aquí en el medio de Default me iba a encontrar con Alejo.
No es default, es hollarse.
Hollarse está en Default.
Usted me desfolca, pero es hollar. ¡Oh, ya sé! ¡En default!
¿En Default?
¿De verdad que sí?
¿Hollarse?
En default.
Señorita, ¿usted me ayuda?
Te ayuda a lo que está más perdido. Hollarse. No hay más nada.
¡Ay! ¿Y eso qué fue? ¡Ay, me dieron por detrás! ¡Ay, no, espérate un momento! Me voy a ver ahora. ¡Ay! ¡Ay, qué mala suerte! ¡Ay! ¿Y yo dónde estoy? ¿Esto es el paraíso?
No, estás en Your Care Health Network.
Avanza con el pie derecho con Your Care Health Network.
Aquí no le cambiamos su suerte, pero resolvemos todos los problemas de su accidente.
Accidentado, recompensado.
Ay, Dayami, si yo te estaba buscando mi vida. Me dijeron que tú eres la mejor para cotizarme un seguro para mi carro.
Claro que sí, aquí en Diamond Insurance te vamos a hacer una cotización que se ajuste a tu bolsillo y a tus necesidades de seguro.
Ay, mi vida, y con lo caro que están los seguros en la Florida.
Han subido, pero un poquito, pero no te preocupes, nosotros aquí tenemos muchos años trabajando todo el estado con muchas compañías.
Ay, eso es lo que yo necesito. ¿Y qué tengo que hacer? ¿Cómo compro mi póliza?
Nada, con una simple llamada, un mensaje de texto, un email, cotizamos tu póliza completamente gratis y en minutos, porque somos la manera más fácil para asegurarte.
Dayami, aquí, entre tú y yo. ¿Tú sí me vas a contestar?
Claro que sí, nosotros siempre contestamos.
Ay, ¿verdad que un diamante es un diamante? Con Diamond Insurance me siento asegurado.
Segura que sí.
Una flor en la ocasión especial puede hacer la diferencia.
Bueno, cuando las personas vienen a una floristería tienen múltiples opciones para una persona que está en un hospital, para una persona que ha fallecido, conquistar a una mujer, disculparnos.
Si usted se quiere disculpar porque metió la pata la semana pasada, venga aquí a Cerezo Flower. Ya sabes, 1721 Southwest, 32 Avenida, marca el teléfono 786-326-4412. Haz la diferencia con la persona que tú amas. Una flor.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is I'll Call You Back. True Blue, unedited with President Sir.
Izzy Martinez.
And Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio, CLR 154 on your Sirius XM dial. Well, prior to the break, we were talking about all this craziness, the spring break madness going on in South Beach, everything that's coming along with it. So one of the cases that has stood out the most for me, and it's been all over, is a case of a woman. A woman has been found dead inside of a room at a South Beach hotel after two men drugged and raped her, police said. Miami Beach police discovered the woman's body at the Albion Hotel on 1650 James Avenue yesterday, a couple days ago. Evoir Collier, 21 years old, and Dorian Taylor, 24, who were visiting from North Carolina, were arrested on Saturday, as police say they were the last two people seen with the victim, 24-year-old Christine Engelhardt, who was visiting from Pennsylvania.
Unreal.
I'm just shocked at the fact that she's really gone. It's been very hard, said her best friend. She was a good person. She didn't deserve anything like that to happen to her. So where were you, best friend? Okay, but anyway, I digress. The two men appeared in front of a judge on Monday. The victim couldn't even pick up the phone to call police or 911 after what they did to her, said Judge Mindy Glazer. Collier And Taylor had been charged with sexual battery, burglary, credit card fraud, and theft. They were using Engelhardt's credit cards to fund their spring break party at the time police arrested them. Just great citizens. They allegedly admitted to giving Engelhardt a green pill on the way to her hotel room on the morning of her death. They were caught on surveillance with her as they walked into the hotel lobby. She was actually staggering a little bit, and at one point, the co-defendant, Taylor, held her behind her neck, basically keeping her stable. We believe she was either intoxicated or drugged, and she could not give consent for them to actually go with her, said a Miami Beach detective. But investigators said they went into her hotel room anyway. Inside that room, Engelhardt was robbed, raped, and left unconscious. She was found dead on her bed later that day. 2 days later, Collier and Taylor were arrested and identified as the men in the surveillance video. Both men were denied bond in court, and they will remain in jail. You're both being held on some serious charges. You battered a helpless victim, Glazer said. If investigators find that Engelhardt's death was connected to the green pill the men allegedly gave her, they could be facing additional charges related to her death.
Absolutely. They're animals. They're animals. How can you do that? I mean, a woman or a man, for, whoever it is, to drug a person and take advantage of that person to the point where you kill the person. I mean, these two, and now listen, this was going to happen. They're gonna wear this nice little suit that they're going to get them, and they're going to show up to court in a suit, and they're going to have the attorney, and the attorney's going to say, my clients say they didn't do it, that they went with her, but they did it. They know they did it. They can sit there and they got them on video. Let me see.
This is a family that has now lost their daughter.
Unbelievable.
Christine Engelhardt from Pennsylvania.
Ladies and gentlemen, talk to your kids, those teens, because what happens is after the age of 18, after the age of 20, everybody says, well, they're adults. They should know how to. They don't know nothing. I didn't know nothing when I was 25. No, I was a cop already at 25.
Pero que saca la cuenta. Cubans have this phrase. It's más sabe diablo por viejo que por diablo.
Claro.
The more, the older you are, the more experience you have in life, you're going to have more experience all around. And it's, it's not because you're the biggest and baddest on the block. It's just because you've been around that block so many times.
Right.
So regardless of your kid's age, it's a parent's responsibility to always try to, enlighten them and say, hey, watch out for these things, regardless if your kid's above legal age or not. Because when you're 18, man, I think of myself back when I was 18, and I had a lot of responsibility when I was 18. But I've matured so much since then, what I know now compared to then, I didn't know anything.
Yeah. And
What a shame,
that was one of my biggest fears when we used to go out clubbing and go to a club and get so messed up, because I was not the drug type. Yes, I was a cop 30 years, but I can tell you now, like some of these presidents say, yeah, I tried marijuana once and I didn't like it, or some crap like that. I don't like the smell. I never cared for marijuana or anything else. Did I drink? Oh yeah. Yeah, I can put some beers down and a couple of other drinks. But my biggest fear was going to a club and getting so messed up. I'm not the fighting type. I'm the type that when I get messed up on alcohol, I just sit down, chill, and probably go to sleep. And that was my biggest fear. That if something went down in that club with my friends, I would not be able to, get up and defend myself. And, these kids, I'll tell you a little story. I went to Dominican Republic to Punta Cana, 2 years ago? When all the people were supposedly dying and they were killing people and all that bunch of stuff, which turned out to be a bunch of BS. And you have tourists, and I would see them. You get these packages all inclusive, right? And they arrive there on Sunday.
Plastered.
Why? But on Sunday they get there, and the first thing they do is they go for the bottle and they drink a whole bottle. They get messed up. They're throwing up. They're feeling terrible. That's not what I go to Punta Cana for.
Absolutely.
I want to go to the beach the next day. I want to have breakfast. I want to have lunch. Have a couple of drinks. Do this and do that. But not to the point of, but it's free. Keep drinking. Keep drinking. It's free.
Jeez.
Remember the lady that was killed, Oh no, there was assaulted. There was assaulted at in the hotel by supposedly a hotel employee.
Yes. I do.
I found out today. I didn't even know. You know, they said that they beat her up and all that bunch of stuff. And they didn't rape her, but the guy took her into a room and just beat the living hell out of her. It was her husband.
Holy shit!
I just found out today. I didn't know that. Yeah, she came up with that story. She get up at 3 o'clock to go see the stars and the planets. I don't know what the hell she was saying, but I just found out today through a friend of mine that it was all BS. It was her husband that tuned her up. They got into a fight, and he beat the hell out of her. So she had to come up with a story, because I guarantee you, she was afraid to probably go to the airport.
Absolutely,
and
like that.
Somebody go, what happened to you?
Yep.
You know, that type of thing. And then she would say, oh, my husband hit me, whatever, and then he gets arrested. Can you believe that? And then you blame somebody that works in that hotel.
You're blaming an innocent person.
And innocent persons, because nobody knew who it was, so everybody's a suspect. I was in the middle of that. And you want to know something? I didn't know anything about what they were, the news was saying about Dominican Republic, Punta Cana. I didn't know that till I got back. And I said, there were people dying. Oh, yeah, were you okay? And all that. Yeah, I was okay. It was all right. I was smoking cigars, pina colada, and that's it. Relax. But that's what happens in South Beach also. They get there, and the first thing they want to do is they want to smoke a pound of weed an hour. Yeah, a pound of weed an hour. And then they go and they do the pills. I got to do the pill because the pill makes me the pill. Are you crazy? And then drink bottle after bottle after bottle.
Let me tell you, man. I had a friend that was in from out of town. This was quite a while ago, and
let me know when you're going to confess, because I know you did.
I'm not gonna. No, I did nothing. I did nothing actually. And she's like, "Yo, let's party, whatever. Let's hang out." I go, "Hey, look, there's an event going on tonight. Pass by the house, and we'll leave from my house." This is a girl who has, I think she has 2 kids. She has 2 kids. But she's like this super mom, 24 hours a day. And she's like, oh, I need to decompress. I need to do whatever. So when she walks into my house, she's like shit-faced, just arriving at my place. And I'm like, we're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, now she's already messed up.
No. I'm like, I'm not going to go somewhere with you like this.
Exactly.
I'm not going to show up to any place with someone that can't, carry their whatever it is that you're on. So I said, hey, you know what? Vamos a quedarnos aquí. If you want, I'll cook something, whatever. So I proceeded to cook something, and she proceeded to go to the bar and to continue drinking. And I was like, hey, she downed like half a bottle of vodka by herself. And at the end of the night, she's like, hey, I'm going to leave because I have some friends that are, that they're going to pick me up. We're going to go party. Can I leave my car here? I go, yeah, leave your car. And she, in the morning when I speak with her the following day, she's like, oh, it was horrible. And these people, they stood me up and, they left her at a place.
I would leave her in a place too.
They came and they picked her up. Yeah, but they all partied because she had money. So, those are that type of friend that go and they use your money.
Shame on her.
And when she calls me, she goes, oh, I should have just stayed at your place. Because I told her, I go, tú no estás para salir a ninguna parte, mujer. Just lay down and just,
Exacto.
Call it a night, dude. Call it a night. And she's like, hey, tú estás muy anticuada. I go, it's not about being anticuada, bro. I'm not going to go out with someone like that.
Es que el problema es, oye esto, y yo lo estaba diciendo en inglés, lo voy a decir en español para los que están escuchando y que no están viendo, pero en que hablan español. Pero fíjate, en Punta Cana tú compras un paquete de eso que te dan, que todo es incluido. Llegas a Punta Cana. Es como decirte, yo soy diabético y yo voy a llegar a Punta Cana y tienen...
Y voy a comer todos los dulces. Ya.
No, tienen todos los dulces que tú te puedes imaginar y son de gratis, así que comen. Entonces yo me pongo, come dulce. ¿Qué tú crees que me va a pasar? Entonces la gente llega a Punta Cana, llegan el domingo y el domingo por la noche ya no pueden caminar, vomitando y sintiéndose mal porque se metieron la botella esa que te dejan en el cuarto de gratis y se meten la botella. Después al otro día van y empiezan piqui a tomar otra vez. ¿Tú crees que yo voy a ir a viajar a ningún lado y no ir a pasarla bien y tener que estar que la vomitera, que me siento mal y me duele la cabeza y todas esas cosas? No, Dios, por favor. No. Conmigo lo peor que puede pasar es que me den con una pelota de golf en la cabeza.
El problema
Eso es lo único
que
puede pasar.
Pero el problema es que estos chamacos que están viniendo, y déjame decirte una cosa, muchos no son chamacos.
No.
Porque cuando te pones a ver, hay una pila de gente ahí que están de 30 y pico.
Sí.
Pasadito.
Sí.
Que no son los chamaquitos solamente de college, que tienen, tú sabes, 18 a 20 y pico de años. No, aquí hay...
Y mira
mucho
lo que
más.
pasa también. Muchas de las muchachas esas que están ahí, que están con las tangas puestas, ¿ok? Y alquilan los convertibles o andan en los carros, ¿ok? Exhibiendo la parte de atrás de ellas, ¿ok? Sacando las nalgas por fuera del carro y todas esas cosas. Eso se presta por un millón de cosas. ¿Qué es lo que pasa? Que los hombres que están ahí, y no justificando a ninguno, se piensan que todas son iguales y todas no son iguales. Entonces dicen, no, esto es una locura, mira esta, mira las locas estas, mira las locas. No, es que yo no me quiero ni imaginar. Si yo estuviera en la policía todavía, y gracias a Dios, le doy gracias a Dios todos los días que me pude retirar, va a ser 3 años, junio 1. Si yo llego a estar allí en la playa y a nosotros nos dicen, mira todo lo que está pasando, pero ustedes no pueden hacer nada, yo me voy para la casa. Yo recojo y me voy para el diablo. Porque imagínate tú estar parado ahí mirando esto. Y entonces, ¿qué es lo que vas a hacer? Decirle, por favor, paren. No vayan a tirar nada. No se vayan a fajar. No tiren tiro, por favor. Tú estás loco. Ahí tú tienes que llegar con fuerza y coge y pone 100 policías. Sí, 100 es facilito. Y pone 100 policías o 200, lo que tú quieras. Si aquí, óyeme, entre Miami-Dade y la ciudad. Y
ahora
todo
mismo
eso,
está, mira, ahora
por
mismo
favor.
está Miami Beach, Coral Gables, Miami-Dade County, Miami Gardens y, si no me equivoco, City of Miami también.
No, City está ahí, olvídate.
Son 5 municipalities que están trabajando juntos para tratar de controlar esta locura que hay.
Sí, pero hay que controlarla de la forma que controlan los disturbios.
Totalmente.
¿Ok? Llegaste con los cascos puestos, los palos en la mano. Ah, mira, una cosa. Uno de los disturbios que yo estuve involucrado, que fue, creo que fue el de Lozano, cuando Lozano mató al delincuente ese que andaba en la motocicleta. Sí, era un delincuente, era un parásito de eso, de lo que sea, y Lozano lo mató. Tremendo tiro. ¿Qué te iba a decir? ¿Qué tú quieres que te diga? No es verdad. Tremendo tiro. Le dio. Pero, ¿qué es lo que pasa? Que cuando los disturbios eso, que nosotros estábamos ahí, a nosotros no nos hacían eso. Yo vi una cosa, yo no sé si fue el de Lozano o fue el de Luis Álvarez, que mató a Neville something, que le decían la serpiente, que estaba jugando video y le puso la pistola atrás. Uno de los disturbios eso, que yo estuve. Yo vi por primera vez en los oficiales de Broward County, ¿ok? ¿Qué tú crees que trajeron al party? Los shields, ¿ok? Los escudos esos que traen para que la gente no puedan pasar. Yo estaba mirando y yo decía, ay, ¿por qué la gente llegan y sin empujarlo brincan para atrás? Porque eran eléctricos.
No.
Era un taser. Entonces, cuando tú llegabas, ellos lo ponían, le apretaban el botón y cuando tú lo tocabas, imagínate tú, te dan un corrientazo. Ya está.
Yeah.
Ahí está. Llevó los caballos. Claro, Miami-Dade no tiene caballos porque no pueden pagarle la comida al caballo. Eso es otra cosa que es una vergüenza. Pero bueno, lleva los caballos. La ciudad tiene caballos. Aquí hay muchos lugares que tienen caballos. Traigo los caballos y empujones con esta gente. Y más nada. Van a ir al hospital, se van a dar golpes. A lo mejor algunos mueren, puede ser. Pero eso es lo que tienes que hacer. Ahora, de ahora en adelante, que se preparen. Porque esto ha pasado más de una vez y va a seguir pasando. El año que viene, prepárense, porque para el año que viene vuelve a pasar, y especialmente viendo que el alcalde ese que está ahí no hizo absolutamente nada. Lo que hizo fue traer una pila de policía en uniforme, en vez de traer el Field Force. Desde el segundo día ya el Field Force tenía que estar ahí para limpiar las calles. No lo hacen por razones políticas, porque no luce bien. Ay, usaron mucha fuerza. Sí, eso pasa, sí. ¿Tú te imaginas yo del alcalde ahí cuando venga los canales de televisión y me pregunten, ¿usted no cree que fue mucha fuerza? Le digo, no fue suficiente. Tenía que ser un poco más, porque de mil y pico de arrestos, nada más que fueron 20 para el hospital. Tenían que ir un poco más. Sí, porque lo que pasa es que cuando tú te comportas como un animal, te tienen que tratar como un animal. Es facilito. Esto no es complicado. Pero los políticos son los que alan las cuerdas de los títeres y los títeres tienen que hacer lo que le están diciendo. Anyways, moving on from the beach, because the beach is just another. Every night I get to see the beach in action. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I put on the news, and it's all over. It's on Fox, CNN. Everybody's playing our wonderful "Welcome to Our Beaches," Miami Beach.
Bueno, there's a case that happened today in Colorado, which kind of scared me a little bit, because this is, the second mass shooting that we've had in a week and a half, right? And since the onset of COVID, we really hadn't had any mass shootings here, at least in the United States. So it says here, a shooting at a Colorado supermarket killed 10 people on Monday, including a police officer.
Yep.
And a suspect was in custody, authorities said. Boulder Police Chief Maris Harold announced a death toll at a news conference Monday night, fighting back tears. The suspect was getting medical treatment and there was no further threat to the public, authorities said. Officers had escorted a shirtless man with blood running down his leg out of the store in handcuffs, but authorities would not say if he's a subject. The officer who was killed was Eric Talley, 51 years old, who had been with the Boulder Police since 2010. Victims' families were still being notified, so their names weren't released. This is a tragedy and a nightmare for Boulder County, and in response we have cooperation and assistance from local, state, and federal authorities.
Right.
Yamaguchi said police are still investigating and did not have details on a motive for the shooting at the King Super store in Boulder, which is about 25 miles northwest of Denver and home to the University of Colorado. Dean Schiller told the Associated Press that he had just left the supermarket when he heard gunshots and saw 3 people laying face down, 2 in the parking lot and 1 near the doorway. He said he couldn't tell if they were breathing. Video posted on YouTube showed 1 person on the floor inside the store and 2 more outside on the ground. What sounded like 2 gunshots were also heard at the beginning of the video. Law enforcement vehicles and officers massed outside the store, including SWAT teams, and at least 3 helicopters landed on the roof. Some windows at the front store were broken. At one point, authorities said over a loudspeaker that the building was surrounded and that you need to surrender. Sarah Moonshadow told the Denver Post that 2 shots rang out just after she and her son finished buying strawberries. She said she told her son to get down, and then we just ran. Once they got outside, they saw the body in the parking lot. Edwards said the police were speeding into the lot and pulled up next to the body. We couldn't do anything for the guy. We had to go. James Bentz told the Post that he was in the meat section when he heard what he thought was a misfire, then a series of pops. It was then at the front of a stampede. Bentz said he jumped off a loading dock out back to escape, and younger people were helping other older people off of it. 1 person was taken from the shooting scene to Foothills Hospital in Boulder. Colorado Governor Jared Polis, tweeted a statement that his heart is breaking as we watch this unspeakable event unfold in our Boulder community. Police had told people to shelter in place amid a report of an armed, dangerous individual about 3 miles away from the grocery store, but said that the news conference later wasn't related to the shooting. Great. FBI said it's helping in the investigation at the request of police. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki tweeted that President Joe Biden had been briefed on the shooting. In a statement, the King Soopers chain offered thoughts and prayers of support to our associates, customers, and the first responders who so bravely responded to this tragic situation. We will continue to cooperate with local law enforcement, and our store will remain closed during the police investigation. Kevin Daly, an owner of a restaurant a block or so from the supermarket, said he was in a shop and he saw police cars arriving and shoppers running from the grocery store. He said he took in several people to keep them warm, and others boarded a bus provided by Boulder Police, and they were taken away. So this is nuts. And then, I don't understand how these people commit these crimes and they're escorted outside by police.
I don't know. It's 2021. Things are different. But I'm going to tell you this, okay? If you have a gun, legally, if you have a gun, and you have a permit to carry a gun, carry the gun. It's not only South Florida. This is all over the nation. All over this great nation, okay? Because the idea is for some people to destroy this great nation. carry your guns, and stay safe, because I do. I continue to do that. Let's go to take a quick break, and when we get back, Gachi has a lot more to talk about.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez.
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio.
Be back.
111, 110.
La Martelo aquí.
¡Ey!
¡Ay, qué sorpresa!
Y me sorprendiste tú a mí porque yo estaba buscando un regalo para ti, ya que me dijiste que te gustaban mucho las pipas.
Sí,
Adivina cuál te quiero regalar.
¿Cuál me quieres
El
regalar?
del pollito.
¡Oh, qué tierno!
Le quiero regalar el del pollito. Porque se parece a él. Mírale el piquito.
¡Oh, qué chulo!
Como ese piquito que tienes ahí.
Señor, esta es la tienda donde compran los artistas, los deportistas y tú que eres VIP también. Fog Nation. ¿Lo dije
Con
bien?
G. Fog.
Ahí está. Mira la careta esa. Uy.
Esas son para ahorita, para la cuarentena, para la pandemia. ¿Quieres una? ¿Quieres ponerte una?
Me vendría bien esa cara. Mira, ya empezó
Con
a
esa
tirarme.
cara le vendría bien una de esas. Él mismo lo dijo. Él mismo.
Gracias por estar conectado con nosotros. Yo soy Tony Cortés y les estoy anunciando que Grimal Joyería y Café Cachita y Grimal Joyería se unen para dar una gran rifa que usted puede ganar. Solamente, escuchen bien, solamente van a compartir, van a llamar por teléfono y van a decir la palabra clave. Grimal Joyería, toma Café Cachita. Comparte, comparte, comparte. Busca Grimal Jewelry en Instagram. Busca Grimal Jewelry en Facebook. Llama por teléfono. Tiene dos tiendas. Una en Hialeah y la otra en la 8. Mira lo que está pasando aquí en pantalla. Tenemos grandes regalos. Café Cachita y Grimal Joyería. A las primeras 20 personas que empiecen a compartir, a llamar por teléfono, a interactuar con nosotros, vas a tener todo vas a tomar Cachita. Porque Cachita es nuestra virgen, nuestra patrona de Cuba. Y van a ponerse una prenda para respetar y querer y amar a nuestra Caridad de Cobre.
Ay, Dayami, si yo te estaba buscando en mi vida. Me dijeron que tú eres la mejor para cotizarme un seguro para mi carro.
Claro que sí, aquí en Diamond Insurance te vamos a hacer una cotización que se ajuste a tu bolsillo y a tus necesidades de seguro.
Ay, mi vida, y con lo caro que están los seguros en la Florida.
Han subido, pero un poquito, pero no te preocupes, nosotros aquí tenemos muchos años trabajando todo el estado con muchas compañías.
Ay, eso es lo que yo necesito. ¿Y qué tengo que hacer? ¿Cómo compro mi póliza?
Nada, con una simple llamada, un mensaje de texto, un email, cotizamos tu póliza completamente gratis y en minutos, porque somos la manera más fácil para asegurarte.
Dayami, aquí, entre tú y yo. ¿Tú sí me vas a contestar?
Claro que sí, nosotros siempre contestamos.
Ay, ¿verdad que un diamante es un diamante? Con Diamond Insurance me siento asegurado.
Segura que sí.
Una flor en la ocasión especial puede hacer la diferencia.
Bueno, cuando las personas vienen a una floristería, tienen múltiples opciones para una persona que está en un hospital, para una persona que ha fallecido, conquistar a una mujer, disculparnos.
Si usted se quiere disculpar porque metió la pata la semana pasada, venga aquí a Cerezo Flower. Ya sabes, 1721 Southwest, 32 Avenida, marca el teléfono 786-326-4412. Haz la diferencia con la persona que tú amas. Una flor.
Yo quería comentar.
Oscar from Tennessee.
Thank
he
you
works
so very
for
much for
UPS,
calling.
right?
Yes.
This guy's a truck driver for UPS, and he always calls in and says, "Hey, listen, Just calling to say hi, and I'm glad you guys are doing what you're doing. I listen in because I drive, and I love to listen into the show, and we're very happy about that. I mean, Oscar's a great guy, family guy. He has his day off, and he still called us today on his day off.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great. So we thank you so very much.
Do you realize something? That it's been a month, maybe about 4 to 5 weeks. We opened up a Facebook page because we were in the process of consolidating all the shows into one page, and that it hadn't taken place because of a lot of adjustments that they're doing. So we decided to open up two pages. We are on Facebook, and it says "I'll call you back" with Izzy and Kachi. And Izzy Kachi is the other one. And a lot of 3,000 over, what is it, like 29 to 3,300 followers are on there all the time. 3,300. And today, believe it or not, listen to this one. Everly.
Yes.
Is this little girl that they did a GoFundMe for. She has medical issues. When she was born with lack of oxygen, so on and so forth. And we've jumped on board, and we promote Everly every single night. Her and her family are just amazing people. She is a doll, and we do that. And believe it or not, I just received a message, a personal message, from an individual who is not in the United States saying, I try to make a donation, but it will not allow me due to the fact that I'm in a different country and due to the fact that I'm in this country. And I said, well, do you know what country that is?
What country is that?
Cuba.
Look at that.
Can you believe somebody from Cuba making a donation when they don't have, there's no money there?
Because here's the thing.
You know what I'm saying? It just tells you so much about people that live in those, in like Cuba and Venezuela, Bolivia, El Salvador, Honduras, all those places that that they have that socialism and communism crap. And the guy is calling. He's a young man, and he said, "I want to donate. Can I donate through, I don't know, Bitcoin and this and that? I don't know what." But he's trying to donate to Everly from Cuba. It's unbelievable. I'm gonna send the information to her dad because I want him to take a look at it.
We actually talking about Everly. We have an update on Everly. That's what I'm trying to pull up right now.
Mm-hmm.
It says here, and this was posted today by Haley Patterson just a few hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
Update on pulmonologist. Appointment went great. The nurse is amazing, and the actual pulmonologist is good as well. This is just a baseline appointment. Their goal is to wean her off of oxygen. Obviously not all the way because she's still dependent on it, but as low as she can go, which we've been doing that anyways. Yesterday she was on 0.5 liters, and it was statting 100% all day. That is amazing.
God.
Her secretions all sound in the upper respiratory and very close to her throat, which I'd rather that be the case and deep in her lower lungs, correct?
Absolutely.
They're leaving her on the same medication and dosage for right now for her secretions. They wanted to check her blood gas levels because the last time they checked her, she was in respiratory distress and her CO2 was 67. That's a little high. So they wanted to do a more recent level, but the lab was closed, so we will do that next time. Other than that, everything went well. Her ride went well in the car seat as well. Stayed at 100% all the way and only had to be suctioned a handful of times. But she never went into distress. Thank the Lord. We're back home and our little girl is worn out in such a deep sleep right now. And talking about she is a chunk-a-lunk. Everly Jane is weighing 16.83 pounds at 3 months old. She is a chunk-a-lunk. And we want to thank everyone for all of your prayers, and they are working wonders for our little girl. So we're super, super happy. We're happy to share all the updates. We're happy to share the GoFundMe. We're happy to share whatever we can to help you guys out because it's so important that you feel that you have, this support, not just from your family and friends, but from your community, especially taking into consideration that Mr. Patterson is also a public servant, a first responder, and it's important that we pull together in situations like this and we help out our people, man.
Absolutely. And they don't have to be police officers or firefighters. As long as they're good people. And you can tell, we haven't met the Patterson family. And I can tell you right now, just by talking to them and the way that they respond to all of our stuff, they have to be amazing people. Just totally amazing people. He is an applicant with the Miami-Dade Police Department. And if anybody from Miami-Dade, and I keep saying it, high-ranking official, no special favors, because we're not into the special favor, get Brandon in there because he need, no, none of that. Brandon does need to go into the police department again. He had to abandon his job in Tennessee to come here to seek treatment for his daughter. And I think, they should make sure that the process goes smooth for Mr. Brandon Patterson. And on that note, I spoke to him today, and he is planning on being here on Thursday at 10 o'clock with us at the show. He'll probably stay here from 10 to 12. If he wants to stay from 10 to 11, I totally understand. I would love to have both of them. But due to the fact that, the Everly's mom has to stay with her, or one of the two have to stay with her, he's coming on the show, and we are super excited because we want to hear more details about that gorgeous angel. I was telling him today, I said, I don't know what it is about your daughter, because we see a lot of, GoFundMe and kids with problems and stuff like that, and you want to help everybody. But there was something about Everly, something about her, and I know it happened to you too, that from the first day that we laid eyes on her, we said we need to do something about Everly.
Absolutely.
And I can't explain what it is. I can say, it's her face, her beautiful face. It's got to be, I don't know what it is. But there's something about Everly that just, it just melts everybody's heart. So what I did yesterday, I pulled a little stunt. I'm gonna confess.
What did you do?
I pulled a little stunt, but it worked. I know almost 90% of the people that are in the cigar business, not cigarette, cigar business. And I know a lot of the distributors and the actual manufacturers and the owners of the cigar companies. So I decided to do a group text and pretty much put them on the spot. So I sent a thing and I said, this girl needs your help, needs our help, and you all need to get on the bus right now with this. 2 seconds later, I knew who was going to call. Like 3 of them said, "Oh, how can I do it? But I don't know how to do it on Facebook. I'm illiterate when it comes to this stuff. I don't handle." And I said, "Okay, do me a favor. Then you can go ahead and Zelle or Cash App or whatever it is. Do it to me, and I'll deposit it, and I'll send your name to Brandon Patterson so they know who sent the money."
Exactly.
Because now it shows like I've donated, I don't know how much money, but and I did that, and it worked. It worked.
I love it.
It was like one thing after the other, one thing after
That's
one,
great.
one donation after the other, and then it stopped. But I'm going to be doing a lot of these pushes, and I call them promo push, and I am going to make sure that we get to that goal that's on Facebook, because there is no reason why we cannot get to $9,000.
Yep.
Trust me when I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we've done our part, and we're going to continue to do our part with these microphones to make sure that Everly Patterson gets her treatment and is well. Anyways, talk to me.
Okay, so there's just so many crazy things going on, Isidoro. Like I don't understand. Today, I'm just at this state where I don't understand.
If it's politics or police, I'll explain it to you. Go ahead.
All right. So a 12-year-old was waiting in line with his family at a Pittsburgh McDonald's when a man stabbed the boy in the neck with a box cutter. Police arrested Charles Edward Turner, 51 years old, at 2 p.m. on Saturday. He faces multiple charges, including criminal attempt homicide and 4 counts of aggravated assault. Records show he's being held at Allegheny County Jail. The boy was taken to the hospital in critical condition, has been upgraded to stable. Police said they don't know of any relationship between the boy and Turner. They have not been able to identify an attorney for Turner. 2 McDonald's employees intervened to help the boy. Cara Cruz, Deputy Public Information Officer for the Pittsburgh Public Safety Department, reported. He was with his family, who was standing in line. They had just zipped in for one quick thing. The motive remains unclear, and the investigation is ongoing. Detectives from the major crimes and crime scene units are reviewing the scene, analyzing video evidence, and speaking with eyewitnesses. What can motivate
somebody to cut somebody like that? A child.
Kid.
A child.
A kid, man.
Now, I this is the part that I don't get. Was that person with that kid?
No.
It was a total stranger.
There's no relationship between the kid and that person.
You know, what can a 12-year-old do for you to get a box cutter and cut his neck? You know, it's just ridiculous. Was there a fight or was there an argument or anything?
They don't say any of that. They don't say any of that.
Unbelievable. Even, I mean, how can you fight with a 12-year-old? What are you going to do? Stab him like that guy did? It's unbelievable. I'm telling you right now, if you have a gun, and I know a 12-year-old is very hard for a 12-year-old to have a gun, and it's not legal.
But not a 12-year-old's parent.
Exactly. But the 12-year-old parent, if I'm there and I have my gun and you come and cut my kid's neck with a box cutter, you can rest assured, lead poisoning is a bitch. What are you gonna? Well, it's true. I'm gonna tell you straight out. And they'll probably, hopefully it'll never happen to me, but if it does, they're going to be pulling all these videos and going, see, he had already planned that Bob, you know, the defense attorney, he's just, but I'm telling you right now, he already planned it. Look what he's telling people on the, you know what I'm telling people? That we're fed up with this crime and this crap that we can't even walk out of our house without having an incident like that.
It's horrendous, and it's literally across the nation.
Tan loco.
So you recall last week we talked about a video that went viral of 3 women who were fighting a Popeyes employee. Remember that?
Como me gusta a mí Popeyes.
Me too, bro.
¿A ti no te gusta Popeyes?
Popeye, ¿tú no comes pollo Popeye?
¿Tú nunca has comido pollo Popeye? No. Tiene que comer. I'm hooked on Popeyes. Ever since I was a cop, oh my God. I still go to Popeyes.
I was at Popeyes yesterday.
Where you were? Oh my God. What are you going to say?
Te tenemos que llevar a Popeye.
Sounds like a commercial.
Very high class.
It's not a commercial. It's just
not.
A fact. It's a fact.
I am a fat ass. I've accepted that.
And now she's pregnant, so she's legit.
So I have like double the excuse. All right. So it says here.
Should we tell them about the freight elevator? No. Never mind. My bad. I didn't want to say that.
Oh my God.
No.
All right. So it says here, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office has arrested 3 of 4 women who they believe were involved in an attack and robbery at a Popeyes restaurant in Lantana. Brianna Toombs, 19 years old. Chloe Arriega Hernandez, 21 years old. And Joanna Sadie, 19, who were all from West Palm Beach, were arrested on charges of robbery with a weapon and burglary, assault, or battery. According to deputies, the women were in the drive-thru when they got into a verbal argument with the cashier. What happened next was captured on cell phone video. Deputies said the suspect spat and attacked the employee who was working the drive-thru. 2 of the women got out of the car and attacked 2 other employees inside the restaurant. One of the women is also accused of reaching inside the drive-thru window and grabbing cash from the register. Authorities said all 4 women then got back into their vehicle and drove away. Anyone with information about the final woman's identity is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-458-TIPS.
There were 4 or 3?
There was 4. They've caught 3.
Oh yeah, I saw the 3. Here, let's put their photo here. They're these beautiful. There we go. Let's see if we go this way and then we go that way.
There you go.
Look at that, huh? What a beauty. All 3 of them. Look at that. The 3 Stooges. Eh? Well, how come I lost this? Oh. See, now I'm blurry. That's what I get for doing that.
You'll survive.
Every time I do that, the ghost attacks me.
The ghost. Ay, la misericordia.
Así mismo. ¿Pero qué se va a hacer?
So I want to see what else we had here that was, man, it's just Miami, bro. Miami's driving me nuts.
El problema es que todos los días algo diferente. Todos los días algo diferente aquí. Y ya tú sabes.
So it says here, police are investigating a deadly hit-and-run crash that happened Monday early Sunday morning, approximately at 3:15 a.m. along Northwest 36th Street and 21st Court. According to the authorities, the victim was Richard Jackson Memorial's Ryder Trauma Center in critical condition. He was later pronounced dead as a result of his injuries. Miami police have not revealed whether they have a suspect or a description of the vehicle involved. Anyone with information is urged to contact Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers at 305-471-TIPS. Yeah, see, it's like, it's every freaking day. This is nuts, man.
You know. Also, did you see the ones that they had like a raft, an inflatable raft?
Yes.
And then they
Black Point Marina,
at
right?
Black Point Marina, and they went adrift, and they were rescued, and so on and so forth. They were teens, right?
Yeah, they were teenagers. I'm going to open that up right now. Says here, 2 teenagers were rescued Sunday evening after authorities were notified that the electric motor on their inflatable raft lost power. According to Miami-Dade Fire Rescue officials, authorities were notified around 7:45 p.m. that the teens were fishing off their raft and had notified relatives that the motor had lost power and they were in trouble. First responders searched for the boaters off Black Point Marina by air and sea, and they were located after about an hour. Officials said the teens were texting their relatives, which allowed them to retrieve GPS coordinates. Teens were eventually rescued and taken back to the marina. Officials said they were cold, but okay.
Well, see, what happens is that there's no license, there's nothing. You can just buy a boat and drive your boat. And they say, no, under the age of 16 of that. Listen, there's people here over the age of 21 that can't drive a boat, and they're not prepared. You know, they're not prepared. A lot of these people, you don't know how many times I used to ride with Marine Patrol. I used to ride with Marine Patrol all the time. And you don't know how many people we would run into, and they go, no, we don't have flares. Do you have life vests? Yeah, we have. And then they have 6 people on the boat, and they got only 2 life vests. They don't have a throw down, you know, flotation device and all that. Let me tell you something real quick. You know, you remember how it was illegal, I don't know if you're aware of this, boaters could not ride in the front, in the bow.
Yes.
Okay, with their feet hanging down, it was bow riding, right?
Yep.
Okay, guess what?
What?
It's not illegal anymore.
What?
Yeah, now you can ride in the front, you know, bow riding, and your dad or your friend can just run you over. And you know, do you know why that law was changed?
Why?
Because there is a politician in the north, on the north end of the state, that supposedly either his son or he got a ticket because the kid was bow riding or something like that.
Really?
He changed the law. So now it's legal. So now you see a bunch of knuckleheads out on the water, and they're all hanging out, and they're going, now we can do this. They don't know how dangerous, extremely dangerous that is. Extremely. Okay? One wave, bounce, and it either break your femur with a railing, or you go overboard. And the boat runs you over because daddy or his friends, they don't know that you just went overboard, and they run you over.
That is absolutely horrendous.
Claro. Pero así es. Y entonces aquí cualquiera puede tener un bote y comprar un bote. Lo único que tiene que tener es el dinero. Déjame ver si yo puedo arreglar la cámara esta antes de irnos, para que me vean la cara bella mía esta. Porque es que va, esto es como ya con el ghost. El ghost. Es un brujo que yo tengo allá adentro. Yo no sé, es que esto es increíble. Magali, por favor, apriete el botón ahí, Magali, por tu madre. Magali es la que lo está haciendo, porque tú lo sabes y lo hace adrede. Yeah, I think Maggie, yeah, she likes to be called Maggie. She's Magali, but she likes to be called Maggie. I think she does it on purpose. And what she does is she takes me out of focus. Okay? In order to get it back on focus, you got to put something close, and then it goes out, and then it goes right back to it. A ghost? Yeah, it's a ghost, all right. Called Maggie. The ghost of Maggie. ¿Qué tú crees?
So, I want to talk about one last thing.
Hit it.
Before we go.
Okay, while you do that, I'm going to try to.
Before we say good night.
Yeah.
And I want to follow up on this tomorrow because I think this is going to be very interesting.
Not Miami Beach, please.
No.
Thank you.
We're going to L.A. Victims' rights advocates joined with the support of Sheriff Alex Villanueva to launch a recall campaign against a newly elected Los Angeles County District Attorney, George Gascon. Gascon campaigned on a reform agenda when he successfully unseated incumbent DA Jackie Lacey last year. But after he took office and began detailing how many of those reforms would take shape, victims advocates and others in law enforcement, even within Gascon's own office, have begun to protest. Over the weekend, victims advocates officially kicked off their recall efforts after gathering the minimum of 20 signatures needed to formally begin the process. A group has 160 days to gather 580,000 signatures of registered voters to place the measure on the ballot. Villanueva appeared at the rally announcing his support for the recall. When we say it's okay not to only join a criminal street gang, but engage in crime and furtherance of that criminal enterprise, and they face no consequence, we have a problem. And now his name is George Gascon.
Yeah.
Gascon has been under fire for his reform efforts, including ending the use of sentencing enhancements.
That's right.
And ending the use of death penalty. The statement, Gascon said, our system of justice can't continue to rely on policies that create more victims tomorrow simply because some victims want the maximum punishment imposed in their case today. I also can't ignore research showing that these views are not shared by the majority of survivors of violent crime. Nonetheless, all survivors agree that they need more support, and that's why I'm focused on expanding our ability to provide clinical and trauma-informed care for victims. Family members of a 10-year-old Anthony Avalos, who was killed by his mother and her boyfriend, say Anthony isn't getting the justice he deserves.
That's right.
Those people, those monsters, deserve to stay there for the rest of their lives, said Anthony's aunt. They don't deserve to be free. Anthony does not deserve to be dead.
Sí. El Gascón ese es un imbécil, es un idiota, es un político, y lo que quiere hacer es básicamente abrir las prisiones y que salga todo el mundo, y hay crímenes que no se deben ni coger la gente presa. Y ¿De dónde es el hombre este? A ver, ¿dónde nació él? Porque es que nosotros no, mira, eso lo vamos a hablar mañana, porque ya esto se está acabando casi ya, y el brujo me soltó. Y mira que bien me luzco ahora. Gracias, Magali, por apretar el botoncito. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que pasa? ¿Qué es lo que pasa? Lo siguiente. Yo quiero saber dónde nació, quién eran los padres. Una pequeña información que yo creo que yo sé. Porque es un imbécil. ¿Cómo tú le vas a decir a la gente que tú no crees en lo que es la pena de muerte? Yo lo entiendo. Y cadena perpetua. La cadena perpetua la quiere quitar.
He's one of us.
Yo sé. Por eso yo quiero toda la información del niño bobo ese. Porque eso es lo que es.
He is one of us.
That's right.
He is an American attorney who is a district attorney for L.A. County. Gascon previously served as a district attorney for San Francisco from 2011 to 2019 as assistant chief of police for the LAPD and chief of police in Mesa, Arizona and San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
He is 67 years old, and he was born in Havana, Cuba.
There you go. See? Some of my peoples, not good. See, you got to learn. If you got to say that some of your people are bad, go ahead and say it. They're fine. This people, which is part of my peoples where I came from, he's an idiot. He's a moron. He's not thinking. Well, he is thinking. He has his own little agenda. For whatever reason, he's doing this. But to let people out of jail, people that are serving life, and he doesn't believe in life, and he doesn't believe in the death penalty, and a lot of these crimes shouldn't even be charged, and so on and so forth. Get all them criminals, put them on a bus, and send them over to his neighborhood. Buy him buy some houses next to him, and move in next to Gascon. Sounds like the guy from Beauty and the Beast. Was it Gascon?
I think so, Gaston.
Oh, Gaston.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been I'll Call You Back, True Blue, unedited with President Sir.
Izzy Martinez.
And Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio.
Be back.
¿Se mudó aquí desde otro país? ¿Tiene un green card o está trabajando como indocumentado o como trabajador anónimo? Entonces, por ley, debe pagar impuestos. ¿No ha presentado su declaración de impuestos en años? ¿Se enteró que debe más en impuestos de lo que puede pagar? Llame al doctor de los impuestos y aprenda acerca de los programas de gobierno que le permiten pagarle menos al IRS si califica. Usted nos ha visto en la televisión por años. Nosotros entendemos al IRS y las leyes que tienen que ver con los impuestos de inmigración. Negociaremos con el IRS para que pueda pagar menos y proteger su estatus migratorio. No somos el gobierno. No le dé miedo llamar. Si debe $10,000 o más en impuestos, llame al doctor de los impuestos ahora y aprenda gratis si puede pagar menos. Llame al 800-507-1545. 800-507-1545. Recuerda, 800-507-1545. Llame al 800-507-1545. ¿Has escrito un libro y deseas publicarlo, pero no sabes por dónde empezar? Page Publishing elimina la confusión que los nuevos autores enfrentan, como derechos de autor, códigos de barras,
Mi mujer no se levanta de la cama sin 2 cafés, hechos por mí, por supuesto. Le pregunté, ¿cuál es de la casa el mejor café? Y me dijo, sinceramente, Cachita. Pruébenlo. Y después me dice, salud, con Cachita.
Yo soy Tony Cortés y les estoy anunciando que Grimal Joyería y Café Cachita y Grimal Joyería se unen para dar una gran rifa que usted puede ganar solamente